Hey, good morning. Let's go over today's trade plan. So in the overnight session, the ES balanced within a range with responsive buyers active at the previous day's low and sellers active on the bounce back up towards the 91 resistance, and the overnight high ended up being 92.5. So heading into the open, we have pre-market resistance at 90.5 to 92.5, and as long as ES is holding below that area, we know that the sell side can still maintain control. Now, looking at the other markets, the Russell has been leading on the way down. And looking at the TF price action off the open can provide a pretty big clue as to which direction ES could go. So in the Russell, keep an eye on 1220 to 1222. If we get a strong directional move or a breakout above that area in the Russell, then that can trigger a buy response in the S&P as well, and we can go up to 96.5 to 99 and possibly 2101.5 to 2103.5. But as long as the Russell is maintaining the weakness that we've seen in the market over the last several days, and ES remains below 90.5 to 92.5, then we still know that sellers can step in. We can get a move down for a retest of the prior close and the gap fill at 2084, a test of 80 to 82 pre-market support, and then we have a open gap and naked VPOC at 79 and 78.75. Now below 80 to 82, it would mark a break below the overnight balance and the yesterday afternoon balance. So in the event of a breakdown below 80, the market can go down and test the high volume node at 73.5 to 74.5 and the support zone at 70 quarter to 72 quarter. And in order to take a long setup below 80, you're going to want to see the market hitting some decent trade location, which means, typically 70 quarter, 72 quarter is really the first spot where a long setup can be considered, because that would be counter to the day's bias. It'll be counter to the immediate momentum. And, for that reason, in the event of a breakdown below 80 to 82, we'll have to be careful and cautious on the long side, because, ES doesn't necessarily have to stop at 70 quarter to 72 quarter or 73 half to 74 half. We can even go down and test the bottom of the overall balance at the 64 half to 67 half zone. And, that's a pretty decent zone where responsive buyers can be active on first test, especially if the other markets are also hitting some decent support at the same time. So let's say ES breaks down and the Russell continues going lower as well and starts testing the 1198 to 1200 area. So as ES is pushing down into either initial support or the bottom of balance at 64 to 67, if TF is at the same time testing 1198 to 1200, that just increases the odds of responsive buyers stepping in both markets, the S&P and the Russell. So, if you're looking at these other markets, they can provide a pretty decent edge and a bit of a heads up on which way ES may be going. And, for that reason, if you have data for the Russell, then certainly keep an eye on it. NQ has been relatively weak as well. And, overnight, the weakness in NQ has actually maintained itself. And for that reason, we're going to be careful on the long side. Below 90 half to 92 half, it's still better to keep the focus on short setups because the sellers would be in control. And in the event of a breakout above 90 half to 92 half, sell side can still step in at 96 half to 99, 2101 half to 2103 half, but we'll just have to be cautious because we will be fading at that point a short-term overnight balance breakout. It doesn't mean ES can't stall or fail at 96 half to 99 or the zone above, but we'll just have to time the trade a little bit better because it will be against the immediate momentum, above 92 half. So for now, that pre-market resistance zone can almost be viewed as a short-term bull-bear idea as well. So, holding below it, we know the sell side can maintain control. Above it, we know that, it would indicate some market strength, at least on the smaller time frames, and it would indicate an overnight balance breakout. So those are really the main thoughts heading into the open. Let's see if the sell side can maintain control below 90 half to 92 half. And then as we go lower, let's see if we're still getting that broad market selling to support the idea of a continuation lower. And if we're not getting that broad market selling, and Russell continues holding, and the AD line is positive, then we can still balance above 80 to 82 as well. So that's something we'll have to determine in real time. But if the broad market selling is there, and the Russell weakness is there, then ES can quite easily go down and fill the gap at 79, test 73 half to 74 half, and 70 quarter, 72 quarter before we get any type of decent buy response. So those are our main thoughts. Let's see how the market plays out this morning and take it from there.